They couldn't escape, and 146 souls were lost. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Hidden History with Frank Strickland. It was a Saturday, March 25th, 1911, and in the bustling heart of New York City, spring was just beginning to stir. But for the nearly 500 souls toiling away in a garment factory, known as the Triangle Shirtwaist Company, spring didn't bring any relief. They were mostly young women, Jewish and Italian immigrants, hunched over sewing machines, stitching together the blouses of the day. For 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, they earned a pittance, perhaps $7, perhaps $12. It was truly a sweatshop of its day. Their workplace was the 8th, 9th, and 10th floors of the Ash Building, a towering structure by the standards of the day. But for all its height, it was a veritable tinderbox. Fabric scraps, paper patterns, mountains of them, and the air thick with the dust of industry. Now, you might think a modern city like New York, safety would be paramount, but back then, hardly. The owners, a pair named Max Blank and Isaac Harris, were more concerned with profit than with the lives of their own workers. The doors were locked, you see, to prevent pilfering of a few scraps of cloth. A flimsy fire escape, barely bolted to the wall, was the only hope they had. And the ladders of the fire department, they could only reach the 6th floor. Imagine 2 floors below the lowest point of no return. And so, on that fateful Saturday afternoon, just as the workday was drawing to a close, a spark, perhaps a discarded cigarette, perhaps a match, tossed carelessly into a bin of cotton scraps. The fire, a hungry beast, devoured the fabric. It raced up the walls and licked the ceiling. Panic is a word that barely scratches the surface of what happened next. The workers, mostly young women, headed towards the exits, but one stairwell door, it was locked from the outside. The fire escape, it buckled, it twisted, then tore from the building, plunging dozens to the cobblestone street below. And the elevators? They broke down after just 4 desperate trips. Imagine, if you will, the horror, the screams, the smoke thick and acrid, filling their lungs. And then, the choice. Burn or jump. 146 souls. 123 women. 23 men. They fell like rain from the 9th and 10th stories. A spectacle of unimaginable grief, witnessed by thousands on the street below. The youngest, just 14. The oldest, a weathered 43. The fire raged for a mere 18 minutes. 18 minutes. And in that time, lives were extinguished, families shattered, and the city's conscience ignited. The owners, Blank and Harris, they were brought to trial. Manslaughter was the charge. But the jury deliberated for a short time, and then acquitted. Not guilty. But there's more to this story. You see, the ashes of that fire, they gave birth to something new. A roar of public outrage. 80,000 people marching through the streets of New York demanding justice and demanding safety. A commission was formed, led by a young senator named Robert F. Wagner and an assemblyman named Alfred E. Smith. And a young woman, Frances Perkins, who witnessed the horror with her own eyes, who would go on to become President Franklin D. Roosevelt's Secretary of Labor, the first woman to hold a cabinet position. From the embers of the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire, new laws were forged, 36 of them. Laws about fire exits that open outward, sprinkler systems, factory inspections, and about the very dignity of labor. So, the next time you see a fire exit sign, the next time you hear a fire alarm, remember the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Remember the locked doors, the flimsy fire escape, the lives lost. Because what happened on that dreadful day in March of 1911, it wasn't just a tragedy, it was a turning point.
I thought we were building something where people could work and live and be safe. If you had to cut costs, why didn't you cut floors instead of corners?